let me give you a quick little lesson on what causes a brake pulsation. Brake pulsations come from a rotor going down the road doing this, okay, because the pads are slapping when they're wobbling. In 1,000 miles, the pads have slapped that rotor almost 1,000,000 times. Okay, if you stick a brand new rotor up onto this hub, or you cut one on a bench, the thickness of the rotor is the same all the way around. You won't feel a problem with that rotor because this caliper is just nothing but a piston that's pushing those pads in. Well, if it's pushing into something that's the same thickness all the way around, it's going to not feel any kind of, you won't feel any problem with the braking system. What happens though is, over time, with that rotor doing this, and those pads slapping, you can't hear them, but the pads are slapping, you get what's called thickness variation, meaning that the rotor is now not the same thickness right here as it is over here because those pads have been slapping. Well, it takes, and this depends upon the customer's driving habits, but it can take 6, 8, 10,000 miles before you feel a brake pulsation. And where the brake pulsation comes from is that variation in thickness, and it takes time before you pushing fluid up to the pedal, which causes the pulsation. Where pulsation comes from, and that's the key in when you cut a rotor on the car, you truing the rotor to the vehicle and all the problems and all the stack tolerances that a vehicle has got. So whenever you start this process, vehicles need to be in neutral. You need to be cleaning the hub itself, okay, the back side and the inside of the rotor, because anything that falls down in between causes, and that's the key. So if you know, and some of these are screwed in, just leave them screwed on. They're not even like Ford rotors, man. Just to get them off the car, you've got to break them nearly to well, if you don't have it, don't disturb it, and you can take an adapter. We give you safety glasses. Good thing to have. So I'm gonna find the adapter that fits. All you do is you put it up there and go to where it goes on. A lot of times you can use the lug nuts that come off the car, but sometimes you can't because they've got that big ring. When you can't, wrench tight on the lug nuts. You can't use an impact, sorry, but you will break that adapter. Just get them, snug them down, because it's got some up and down movement for the lathe, so you just got to learn how to bring it in. And that goes up like that, you see, and then you rotate it till it falls into one of the dowel pins. There's a whole bunch of holes in the front. You see the dowel pin, you see all the holes? So you need to get it in place. And you also give an automatic shut off, and that's what this does. Now what it's getting ready to do is the most important thing. Remember, the hub, the rotor, and the adapter have run out. That's the bad thing. If I can make the brake lathe have no wobble, so that this is wobbling, this has no wobble, then I'm going 90 degrees from that spot. I can make it so it doesn't have wobble. I'll cut no wobble, no run out into that rotor. And it's all completely automatic. You turn it on. Okay, you see it's wobbling. I push start. And it'll go through it, and it actually shows you how much actual run out it's got. And this usually takes about 10 seconds or so. This is the first time we've hooked this one up, so it came from the factory, where we test them, each lathe. But now it'll dial itself down, and you'll see it go away. There, done. You got to set the cutting head up. You just move it in place. I got to kind of get it where it's both sides. You can see, you know, where it's kind of even. All right, now I'm ready to go in and make the cut. Turn it on, run it in. If it's got a big fat lip on them, stop right now, I'd cut the lip off. But this brake lathe is capable of cutting 40 thousandths off in one cut. Now run it in and make the touch. Run it into the back. You do need to cut a little of that rubber, that rust ring off on those, because that new aftermarket pad you put on there may be a little fatter, and if you don't have it all, it'll make noise. You can then from there measure and see how much cut you want to make. All right, now I just push that in and I'm done. This part will take two to 3 minutes, but when you get used to this lathe, 6 minutes, set up, cut, completely off in 6 minutes. It's quick, it's easy. But the most important part is I'm screwing that rotor. I will have no run out in that rotor. And that's what will make you guys have better. You won't get any brake complaint problems coming in anymore because of what you're doing with this machine right now. You got truck adapters. Okay. I got a 4-lug adapter. And I got a 5-lug. There's a 4, I got a 5. You're going to be seeing more and more slotted drilled rotors. If you get a slotted drilled rotor, okay, only cut one side at a time. So you'll only cut the inside. And only take a little bitty bit. Only do a half of a knot. Okay, so you may have to make several passes on that, okay, to get it all like looking like that. But you can cut those. That's it. Every car is exactly the same as what we're doing right now. One pass is all. That's it. You're used to that old Amco 4000 where you're taking multiple. Yeah. And I mean, you feel that. Okay. That's what you want. Now, we do need to get that metal off of there. So you do want to take a, OE recommends taking a soap and water, spraying it on a rag, and hold it on there. Okay. Now I'm done. You can pull this out. It will shut itself off if you let it keep on going. Loosen this. Disconnect. All right. And then right now is when I loosen this up, open these. Okay. You can see the other sides. And then see the whole brake lathe. I loosen this up, and the whole brake lathe, see, turns upside down. And then I'm ready to go cut the other side. And that rotor now has got the same thickness all the way around it. And it's true to the hub of this car.